What's going on, everybody?
What up, what up, what up?
Hey, what's up, Reggie? We got week number 5 of the Counter Nature Weekly Show here. I'm joined, of course, with Jayel as always. Excited to be back here. There's a lot going on this week.
Yeah, there's a lot going on this week, and it's the same introduction every single week. Yeah, I feel like maybe I just get more and more behind and not keeping up with everything. But it's either that or just more and more news coming up. But yeah, we're getting ready for the season to start up. So it's really exciting, and we're in our 5th episode, which is also exciting. So yeah, I mean, let's get into it, right? We got. Well, actually, before we get into it, hold on. Let me say, if there's a loud noise behind us, it's the train going by in beautiful Chicago that I've relocated to for this week. So yeah, heads up for the surprise. But anyway, yeah, so let's get into it. Big news, I think, that I'm most excited about is that Counter Nature's got a new CS team back. We kept following along with Jam from last season and followed him to his new team with the Mike Tyson squad. So JDubs and Jam recently joined that team to make the full roster. Icy, Zander, Envy, Jam, and JDubs. So really excited about that. Experienced advanced team. Jam grinded on the IGL, and yeah, I'm excited for that. We had a great season last year in Maine, making top 6, and coming to advance. The team wanted to do some different things, and so yeah, I was happy to get the opportunity to pick up this team and finally have a team in advanced, which we put so much kind of focus and vision on. So
yeah, no, I got to catch this roster. It was a little different. I think that actually I caught this roster with I think Cam instead of Jam, so a little bit of different than what I saw in IEM, but from what I've seen from them, I just see nothing but potential, and we'll see. I'm excited to see Jam like kind of glue into place here with this roster, but I feel like this could definitely be a really sick roster here. I'm excited to see them play.
yeah, for sure. And then Envy was one of the first Counter Nature articles that R700 did about some of like the best operas in advance. And so it's cool to kind of come full circle and now kind of have him on a Counter Nature team. So yeah, really excited about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I'm just laughing at Reggie's comment. Absolutely, just selling out so fast. No, but
Maybe I still think we're kind of exploring options with that. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm kind of behind on this entire week so far. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, speaking of a little more advanced news specifically, I guess the season as well. But the schedules are being released tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. So we'll get to see like what the what rosters I guess kind of get finished out. I think that some people it's still up in the air whether they're gonna be playing this season. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of announcements coming next week, which means we got our hands full for next week's episode, which means everyone should subscribe and make sure that they don't miss it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it gets released tomorrow, so that'll be super exciting to see. And then of course, yeah, the first default day being August 31st.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting to see. I don't know how many games are gonna release at once. Is like first 2 or first 3. I don't know if it varies between division, but yeah, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be cool to see kind of like which rosters get to match up first, and all the new changes, and see pretty quickly, I'm sure, with some of the matches up with who's really kind of the real deal and who needs to kind of work on the beginning of the
Oh yeah.
season. Um, yeah, but kind of going off of that, we're excited. Like obviously the season's starting, so Counter Nature, we're gonna try and get back into more, written content and be able to provide you guys with like this weekly show on Wednesdays, and then kind of the consistent written content that you guys were all used to last season. So Nova, who's from the For the Boys team in Maine, is going to be doing a big Maine preview. Um, and I've talked to a couple other people about writing and contributing, and so if you're interested in kind of being a part of this and doing anything, definitely reach out. Let me know what you're interested in writing about, what you would want to do, and we can talk from there.
Yeah.
And I know Xner's probably got something in his pocket for advanced,
Yeah,
I
I got
believe.
something cooking up that I've been trying to get some people to help me out on, but I guess I kind of want it to be a surprise. I'm not gonna lie. So I'll just I'll hold off on announcing it and then just kind of release it whenever it's ready.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. It's the hype,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hype. Yeah. Cool. So I guess kind of keep going and talking about the season starting up. Kind of go through maybe not necessarily the latest roster changes, but I made a tweet today and it was asking, if you're looking for a team or if your team's looking for players. And so I kind of wanted to give the shout out to all those people that did reach out and left a comment and give them some love. And if you're watching this live or on YouTube, I'll include the list of people and teams in a tweet. I'll put in like the description of the video and all that stuff. So um, anyway, the first name that got tons of love was fype. I'm going to go through the advanced players
Okay.
first. Um, yeah, so fype got a lot of people shouting him out. One of the two quotes that I got: fype is one of the most consistent skill players in advance, and one of the best fraggers on our team before it died. So this guy definitely deserves
Yeah.
some opportunities for
Yeah, I
sure.
get to cover a lot of advanced or I guess Fipe specifically. That he was on Imperium Gaming. That was already a playoff team, so he's got advanced playoff experience. So that's already like a kind of check off the resume, and then he was pretty consistent for them before. I guess the team kind of exploded. It was titled Esports, but they all went their separate ways. So um, definitely get this guy on a roster quickly because that time is
Yeah,
ticking, and he's gonna be.
yeah,
I mean, definitely a name that you want on your team for sure.
yeah, yeah. We were talking about that title esports team before the show started, and yeah, rest in
Yeah,
peace.
I
Could have
was
been
so
sick.
disappointed, but it's all good. Everything works out for a
Yeah,
reason. So
yeah. Um, Next one is Ginga or Jinja. I
I
don't
think it's
know.
Jinja
Um,
because he has red he has red
Jinja.
hair. So I'm assuming it.
I've heard a bunch of people say that, so didn't want to assume, but yeah. Finished top four last season in Maine with pre-gaming. He's looking to be an entry. I followed him a bit in Maine through advanced. Counter Nature played them in playoffs, and so yeah, he definitely deserves a shot on a team. Right now, I think he's chilling on the big chillin' roster, but yeah, I know he wants to play. um, Next guy that I got some feedback on is Slugy, also known as quote a literal aim demon. Um, so definitely refer to him as entry and support. And then some people that I can kind of go down the list on. Cuz, who won main with GGPR last season, is looking for a team. Doltn, Aris, SwahN. And that's my list of advanced players. I don't know if any of those guys stand out for you, Xner.
I know SwahN. He was super nuts in last season. I'm trying to remember which team he played for. It was either Savage. I'm pretty sure it was Savage that he played
I
for
think so as well.
last season. So I mean, he
Yeah.
was super nuts. One of the key players for there. So there's definitely some good talent out there to be swooped up for sure.
Yep. And for the two advanced teams that reached out and are looking, Rebirth, the advanced Rebirth, not the MDL, chill, is looking for an entry and/or IGL, either of those roles. And then Brigada, if you haven't already seen their tweet today, they need a sub for the first two matches. So yeah, go get that advanced experience for $30, and then you can kind of be there from roster ride, the sub, and have the chance of playing. But yeah, definitely an opportunity to get two matches on your history tab. Um,
Hey, maybe if you do
yeah, yeah, for sure.
if you drop 40, at least you at least secured a spot in advanced. That might keep
Yeah,
you.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then two shout outs to the Open, IM, and even main divisions. One of my buddies, Redman, I played Open with him. He came back into Counter Strike when I did. He's been grinding. Hit him up. He's looking to play and looking to grind stuff out and get some better experience. And then there's a team called Mr. Steal Your Win. I guess not to be confused with Mr. Steal Your Woman. Is an IM team looking for one more with entry and support. So yeah, that is it for my shout outs.
I'm
Xner, I'll hand it back over to
I'm
you.
looking for a sub for my open team. We need a substitute because I'm not sure how much I'm gonna be able to play with casting. But yeah, we got like 3 advanced players, I think, and then it's basically carry Xner to advanced. So if you want to help me out with that goal, hit me up. But I guess moving on from the LFT section here, we got to start off with the Godz winning Summer Cash Cup number 2 against PVO. That was a 2-0, believe it or not, with a sub as well. So the one note that I kind of want to take away from this was that I feel like Godz going into things are going to be super nuts, like for next season. The only
Yeah.
like question mark I have for them really is that they just lost MarkE. So I mean they did replace him with Whippy, so I mean it's not the biggest loss, but MarkE was consistently
sick.
good for them. So I mean losing that kind of throws a couple question marks in the air for sure.
Yeah, you always know this person's good when like you consistently see people like joking, and I'm sure some people not joking about this dude just like cheating.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about before. Another thing we were talking about before the show is like be interesting to see where he goes, where he shows up, because yeah, I think it's safe to assume he's going somewhere.
I hope
Uh,
it's not Valorant.
oh my
That's the only
god.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he's been playing Valorant,
Wow.
but I really do hope it's not. I hope he sticks to CS.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Dang.
that's
That was
my
in the
only. I don't
fields.
know if it's in the fields. I don't know if he plays Valorant or not. But like obviously, pro like a CS player with that level of aim is just gonna have no trouble at all. But the last little
Yeah.
note for the Cash Cups that I wanted to kind of point out was that the X Recon 5 roster, who I was kind of excited about, it's got Fugly and Valence to kind of coach up a couple up and coming MDL players. Kind of had a tough start, and they lost like 2-0 to PVO, which was unexpected. And then on top of that, like they I mean they just looked like they had a lot of like a very hard time getting into things.
Yeah. That is like what their
It was their
first
debut.
weekend, and I guess
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah. So it is cool though. It's a cool roster to see with Fugly coming back into the scene.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited for that. And I think it's just a great opportunity for the scene to learn from those two.
Yeah. Um, let's go into, I guess, kind of like on the same subject of Cash Cups, kind of FaceIT announcing their own NA team cups. When we were doing more research, pretty much all they did was put an official FPL or FaceIT announcement on top of the Mythic League. So I don't think anything is going to be different there. It's going to be Mythic League. It looked like that was still the same Mythic League prize pool that Mythic League, I believe, puts together on their own behalf, which is the $3,000. So yeah, I guess FaceIT was kind of like we need to kind of respond to maybe ESEAs, and even if we're not going to do anything different, we're just going to kind of make a point that we're doing something,
Yeah.
or I guess future endorsing the whole Mythic League, which no matter what, regardless of whatever FaceIT's strategy is on that, it's cool to see Mythic League getting more recognition. So yeah, it's exciting nevertheless to have more team competition going
Yeah,
in.
that's very true. I'm excited to see. Um, I just think more money invested into the tier 2 scene is just gonna mean better competition. I saw the HLTV um top 20 or I think it was top 15 for North America, and I mean it was kind of just tragic to see. I mean I know how much talent was kind of sucked out of the scene when Valorant came out, but I didn't realize like how much it had changed over time. Where like it is just like a lot of teams in from advanced that are even making these top 15 North American lists, which I mean a couple of years ago
Yeah,
it's cool to see, but also it's just kind of like nuts, you know, like
yeah, I saw the same thing, and it was weird because like it completely skips like half of MDL and puts in the advanced rosters there. But at the same time, it is cool because like I like how they're valuing those advanced teams that aren't in
yeah,
MDL, but like they're playing and getting
qualifiers and
a distance in these tournaments and yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So it's cool. I like that a lot, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I guess speaking of MDL, you kind of want to bring us into the relegation tournament that we went on last week.
So I got this little slide here, which kind of gives you all the teams that had made it. So now the relegations, who is going to make it into MDL? It's RBG, Kinship, and Timberman, which is that ex-lethal divide roster. So a lot of talent getting pumped into MDL. RBG and Timberman, I think, are going to have a little bit better time now than Kinship, depending on who they can get, because they just lost Wolfie and Classia, and Imperium Esports, who was kind of, I mean, they were a relatively new roster this season. They're pretty fresh to advanced, and they nearly closed it out versus Timberman. They fell a little bit short towards the end and couldn't close it out. I think they lost a tough one on Train towards the end. But I feel like Timberman and RBG are definitely going to make a run for some of these MDL teams' money. Especially Timberman had just dropped, I believe it was Violet. I'm blanking on who they picked up, but I think they dropped kind of Violent because he wasn't, either it was just like a mutual thing. I'm not sure what the reason was behind it, but RBG, I'm excited to see them. The fact that they are in MDL finally after long last.
Finally, yeah.
It's super good to see that hard work had paid off, and I think they'll have a lot of success with this new like Cash Cup scene kind of deal.
Yeah, it'll be exciting for them to get more reps at the highest level. Because I mean, that advanced season for them must have been the ultimate grind, kind of just plugging away and getting through, and then keeping the composure and still playing at a high level to do well in playoffs, and then of course having to go into the MDL relegation tournament. Yeah, I can only imagine kind of the emotions they had. But yeah, I mean, for Timberman and Kinship, yeah, I love those two teams making it. Timberman looks sick. They look dope.
I think with their new pickup, they're going to be looking a lot better as well. Let me check if it's on ESEA. I'll find it. I think they picked up Flush as their fifth.
Flush?
Yeah. Which I don't.
Not to be confused with Flusher.
Yeah, Fletcher. Yeah, I think they picked him up instead.
He's flying over. And kind of what you were saying with Imperium Esports, like they may have been a new roster last season, but they're grinders, and so I'm excited to see kind of where you have them in your advanced rankings to start the season, because they're definitely on a hot streak for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited to see. I'm not sure. I've got like MDL access this season. I'm not sure what it's gonna look like once the season actually starts, but I'm excited to watch these teams play, and actually, it'll be like my first time kind of keeping a close eye on MDL as well. So a whole new like horizon for me, which is super exciting. But moving on, a little bit more about MDL. Kinship losing two players, Wolfie and Classy. I brushed on it earlier when we were talking about relegations, but that's kind of two players that are really tough to see them leave. They ended up leaving, I think, for Team Secret, or Secret Club.
Yeah, Secret Club. Yeah, I was thinking of David's team.
Team
Secret. I was like, what?
Yeah, Secret Club instead, which honestly I know very little about.
Same.
Yeah,
but I saw Wolfie tweeted today, kind of like some reasoning for it.
Yeah, I think it's like an opportunity for them to learn, which I totally respect it. I'm sure the rest of Kinship do too. But I think this kind of provides a good opportunity for them to rebuild, find two good support players, and like focus around Cobrazop, because I think if you can have him showing up, and if you really focus your players in supporting him, I think it's going to be huge for that team.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and kind of like to lead us into I guess like the professional subject, I was reading something today, kind of, I think it was on Reddit or somewhere on HLTV, I don't know, but it was talking about like kind of like how Tarek said something about like how like the NA scene's like not producing like the talent needs to. It's like, well, I feel like the only way to really kind of break into that tier 1 scene right now is to, one, be grim and just be a baller, or two, grind it down as a team and build it up there. And so what we're going to talk about with ESL Cologne on the NA side, at least with what KS has done, is the perfect example of it, right? So all these MDL teams have a chance to do that, and so the ones that I think that can stick together and really put a season together, put themselves that much closer.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, I kind of see the potential for. I mean, teams like RBG first off, but I really want to keep an eye out on Godz and really get them like I want
yeah,
to see them like find their footing. I guess is the best way to put it, because they've had just two really tough roster changes. Losing MarkE and Android, it's gonna be a tough start to this season. But
yeah,
I don't think they'll have any trouble. Despite that, I think that they've got a good core still, and so I still think they'll be just fine in MDL. They'll still have a little bit of work to do though, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, Zelsa seems really
Yeah,
motivated. I mean,
yeah,
that chorus does this. Yeah.
yeah. That's one thing
So
I've noted as well, is how like dedicated Celsius seems.
yeah. So yeah, do you want to bring us into, I guess, the Cologne talk?
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, speaking of chaos, like their performance so far in Cologne has been just insane. Like being able to just close out these matches, like specifically against Furia, who has been just dominating the MDL scene so far. Like that is just unbelievable. I think tomorrow's going to be kind of a test for them because they've got the rematch going. I believe that's at 6. I think it's at 6. But like the fact that they're able to just win against like, or actually it's Liquid tomorrow, not Furia. I thought it was Liquid. But yeah, they got Liquid tomorrow, so that's gonna be like another huge test for them. If they could shut down Liquid, that'll be huge for them. But they've already.
It's gonna be a huge test for Liquid
Yeah,
too.
that's actually true.
I know. Yeah,
But like if I mean they could 2-0 Furia, they can 2-0 Liquid because
for sure.
Furia has done
Yeah.
the same to Liquid. So
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that's like the fact, like you said, that this team's just been grinding it out, putting in the work in, and just like, keeping their roster consistent is like I think a big part of that. And then I think this is more your cup of tea, but they got some new acquisitions.
Yeah. 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 So I saw. Yeah. So I saw Knobs in the comments kind of bring it up, and I definitely wanted to talk about it. It was the GG group kind of buying out the Chaos Esports organization, Do Not Peak Entertainment. So that's exciting. One, because yeah, I mean, shout out to Pusha T. Shout out to there's someone
Is it
else that's a big
Logic?
celebrity in that group. Yeah, Logic, and then there's definitely at least another guy. But that's sick. It's always interesting seeing that happening at this moment in time, kind of like in what's going on with esports. Obviously, there's a ton of money in esports investments. It's always interesting seeing the new kind of business event that does end up happening, though, just because it gives you a really good feel on like how people are looking at it. So it seems like the perfect moment for Chaos to kind of do something like this because they're obviously winning and having great success. The team is sticking together. Their social media is
Yeah,
amazing. Whoever runs that Twitter account is
yeah, yeah.
awesome.
The best social
Yeah,
media
and so
manager ever.
for real, like honestly, like 100% in esports, he or she has my vote.
I think it's a
And
girl.
bringing that together
I'm
with
pretty sure it is a
it,
girl. Yeah.
is it? Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to her. We gotta have her on for one of these episodes. If you ever watch this or if you're watching it, yo, come on over. We want to talk. Um, but yeah, they're awesome. So mixing that kind of with like the Do Not Peak Media, who is obviously focused on the media thing. I could see that organization blowing up into being like one of these liquids or any of these other like top tier Counter Strike teams. Why not? You add a bunch of investor money into it, you can do a lot. So
And push for
yeah, that's exciting.
try and get this whole I buy power thing sorted out with the. I feel like it's gonna be super like hard challenge, and the fact that it hasn't happened yet means that I'm still a little bit nervous. But try and push for Steel for sure. I think they'll have more opportunities to try and do that.
Yeah, money is the answer to
Yes.
many
Yes.
questions and
Yeah.
problems.
Exactly. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's the case.
So I think our last topic here is I feel like it's like an obligatory talking point for every episode now with Made in Brazil.
Yeah. So first off, they're out of Cologne to start things off, and then they get beat by like a tier 2 Polish team in 9 to
Rip,
5. It was either 2-2 or
rip,
like
rip.
just abysmal, and I'm not sure what the answer is at this point. I really have no idea what they can do to fix it. Like, I mean, this is a
Yeah.
team that like literally I got into the scene with this team just dominating, and now they're really struggling. Like, I mean, unbelievably so. Like it
Yeah.
was versus. I mean, like I just know the last part. I can't pronounce the first part. It's Krakow, I think. They lost.
I think so. Yeah.
They lost 2-1. And like I'm trying to check this, like 34th or 64th in the world. Um, they're not terrible, but like they're just not like a team that MIBR should lose to, as like a team that's getting invites on the world stage. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially when they're trying to rebound in a tournament like 9-5.
yeah, like
Like
you already got.
you want to try to win
Yeah.
that.
I mean, you're knocked out, and like, yeah, exactly. Like it's your rebound, and you're struggling still. It's just. It could be the online scene, but I don't think that's the problem there. I think it goes a little bit deeper than that at this point.
Yeah. I was reading something and kind of going back to the business side of things. I saw someone give an opinion that was like, "Oh, Mibber doesn't really care about winning anymore. They care more about, you know, kind of like making money off of the names they have." But I'm like, honestly, I don't know too much about like the esports business right now as far as like gaming teams, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure the only way you're making money as like a gaming team is if you're winning.
If you're
Like
winning
I
and
don't
like
think these
getting
people.
sponsorships and stuff like that, which they have, but like you get a fan base by getting following. And like they have a good following, but you're gonna lose it if you keep losing. Like no one's gonna support a losing team. You know what I mean? Like no way.
Yeah, and I can't imagine like these sponsors being the full way to like make profit off of what these guys are already making for a salary, I'm sure. Like you need these tournament winnings to add to the
Yeah,
profit on the balance sheet. So I don't know. Maybe they're afraid to do it. Maybe I have no idea. I feel like any chance they had of maybe taking someone from Furia could have been, a possibility earlier in the year or even
yeah,
last
not
year. But now I'm
anymore.
sure that Fury team is laughing at them.
Fury is
Yeah,
having themselves a ball right now, laughing at MIBR, especially after that week.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they have themselves like a healthy competition, but after last week, I'm feeling like Fury is gonna be selling a lot more T-shirts in Brazil than MIBR.
I want to buy a Fury. Those jerseys are
Yeah.
sick. Like they're so cool. I love them. They remind me a lot of PSG for anyone that's a soccer or football fan. But yeah, those are cool. And thanks, Canadian. Thanks for the respecting the Canadian or the Canadian. Wow, I said thanks for respecting the Canadian shirt. The Hawaiian shirt. I guess it could be a Canada shirt, really, if these were maple leaves.
True.
But
Yeah. I mean, is that all we got for this week? Is
I think so. That was a
Yeah,
juicy
it
one.
is, and I feel like next week's gonna be even better.
Yeah, at the start of the season. Yeah, I gotta get some good night's sleep. But
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But yeah.
all
I'll
right.
I'll go ahead and close this out with make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, follow our Twitch, hit us up on Twitter at Xner20 and at CounterNature. Make sure you support us, and yeah, leave a like on the YouTube video. Did I say that already? I don't know, but I said it now, so make sure that you listen to me. But it's been a fun week.
Let's listen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a fun week. Halfway there. Lots of Counter Strike coming up next week. But yeah, peace out from me for this
Yeah.
one.
Peace out.
Later, guys.